Hello, beautiful humans. I'm Gemma Drone, and today we're going to talk about fear. Now, fear is a huge subject. We could talk for days about it. So, we're just going to talk about one little part of fear, how it shows up in the awakening process, and what that's all about. And so, what's happening in the awakening process is that we get a glimpse, we either big or small, we begin to understand that we don't actually know anything, that this reality, this world, ourselves, everything that we thought was real, that we created in our mind as our reality, isn't actually real, or at least isn't the whole reality or the whole truth. And so, as we grapple with the fact that we don't really know anything, we don't know what's real and what's not, and that there's so much more that we don't know, even though we've spent our whole life trying to pin down the truth, trying to understand things, trying to control them so that we're safe. Suddenly, we're faced with the fact that we don't know anything. And our mind has to grapple with that fact, and it doesn't like it very much. The mind doesn't like to be told that it doesn't know, that it doesn't, especially that it doesn't know anything. And it's not the mind's thought. The mind is actually a really powerful tool, extremely powerful tool for us if we use it as a tool. But unfortunately, what happens for most of us is at a young age, the ego hijacks the mind. The ego takes over the thoughts, telling us that it's doing this to keep us safe. Um, and really, in reality, it's doing it to keep itself safe. And the power of the ego becomes really large as it hijacks our minds and our thoughts. And so we begin to think that these thoughts are us, but really it's just the ego um, feeding us these thoughts to protect itself. And so that's exactly how it works when these fears come in the awakening process. As the mind grapples with the fact that it doesn't know, it has to face the unknown. It has to open up to the possibilities of the unknown. And the pattern that most of us create for dealing with the unknown throughout our lives is feeding worst case scenarios to us. The ego feeds us these worst case scenarios in an attempt to keep us safe, which doesn't ever work. It just spins us out and makes us worry. And then a few minutes later, we realize, oh, all those things that we thought would happen didn't actually happen. And so it works in the same way when we are going through the awakening process and facing the fact that we don't know. And the ego starts feeding us fears of the unknown, fears about death, fears about us being wrong, just fears about not knowing. And a lot of times they're not very concrete fears at all. It's just this overwhelming fear of the unknown. And those are really the best words for it. And those of you who have experienced it know exactly what I'm talking about. Because we have to stand in a place where we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen down the road. We don't know exactly who we are, although we have glimpses of it at times. And we're only beginning to learn the true nature of the world around us and reality. And so these fears can creep into our lives and they can show up in ways that make us not want to take chances, not want to do things that we don't know are completely safe. And they just might keep us really subdue our light because we have that fear. Um, and because we can't really even put our finger on it exactly. And so when this happens, it really sucks. to put it bluntly. It's not fun, um, because most of us really enjoy doing things that we don't, that are new to us. And a lot of our motivation on this spiritual path was to seek truth and to learn about the mysteries of life. And all of a sudden, when we realize it doesn't look exactly like we thought it would look, um, this fear comes in and can really overwhelm us and can really slow us down and can, really, again, hijack the mind and hijack the, the spiritual path that we're on. And so if you're in this place and you're looking to move through it, like so many people, um, I would love to help you move through it, and we can call and chat and see if we're a good match to work together and, move through this process, come through the fear, and find a place of peace, peace with the unknown. So, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for being in the Facebook group. If you have any questions, please ask. And, just sending, massive love to you all. Have a great day.